It began with Lizzy.
Um, Lizzy, Lizzy, I just feel your energy talking. What do you have to say? And I didn't mean it in that rude. I just feel like hello. And she's a wonderful person on her podcast. She gets on here a lot, but I just feel your energy so excited to talk about things. So I didn't mean to say, what do you have to say? What do you have to say? Lizzy? We love what you have to say always. Are you there, Lizzy? Did you want to talk?
I can't say too much
Okay.
while I'm. I have so much to say, but I can't say too. Ooh, maybe in a little bit. Could I share some pictures? Cool. People can talk and then I'll pop in when I have those.
Okay. I just felt the sporadic energy all over. Like, I got this to say, and this to say, and this question, and this question, and this question, and I'm catching them the whole time, but it's going at such a processing fast speed that I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna let you try to talk. But Brandon, hi.
I've been inspired more than once by Lizzy. Her soft voice and clear vulnerability cut through all my defenses. I drop right down into self-exposure. Her presence encourages me to express freely in the bee community, my multimedia, multi-channel form of communicating. It's the sound of your voice. A form of communicating I discovered during my writing journey. I received the reminder from Chip to our group. Our second season of writing was soon to begin. How's it going? Just a couple of weeks, less really, until we start up. Yippee! Hope you've all been great. I look forward to reading your writing soon. See you soon. All my best, Chip. Chip is not prone to hyperbole or flattery. He's a Southern guy, raised in the Alabama border town of Molino, Florida, in a little pueblo tucked in a town marked with 2 blinking lights and a highway cutting through the red clay roads. Not a tourist town, a pass-through town, but not a pass-through for his ancestors of the Porch Creek Nation, also known as the Creek. My devotion to Chip was greater than my lost inspiration to write, so I signed up for the next season. It's so nice to open my email app and see your name in my inbox. I have lost all desire to write, which made me doubt if I should take class. But I do enjoy you and what you bring, hence I felt compelled to stay with it. So as much as I don't have a desire to write, I'm still circling something. XOXO Kim. I didn't know I was circling a multidimensional form of communicating. Writing in a linear black and white method was draining me, but my relationship with Chip kept me going. Hey Kim, yay! The feeling is mutual when I have an email from you. I'm really looking forward to being in frequent contact. I'm sorry to hear you're less than inclined to write, but I think that's okay. I think these waves come and go, and hopefully the exercises and investigations spark something, if not on the page, then in your mind, soul, and perhaps in video form. If you wanted to create videos instead of writing something directly, as interpretations of assignments, that would be cool. Or if you want to draw a picture of what assignments provokes, we can work in whatever form you're inspired to work. All my best and see you soon, Chip. This is why Chip named his course Freeform. Free, reform. This reform was liberating me from my academic skin. The video form sparked my interest. I like the idea of using videos for my homework. I may actually take you up on that offer. That really sparked something in me. XO. Chip's consistent encouragement was nurturing my inner spark. stoking a flame that had been tamped down by the methods I needed to use to accomplish my goals. Yay, I think video interpretation is an exciting idea. XOXO, see you soon, Chip. Lizzy came forward to demonstrate her reform.
So Lizzy is showing, okay.
Can you see?
We can see. And explain to some of the listeners too, because this will be on podcast for some of them, if you could. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so I did this on a recent meeting we had with other facets of our collective, and it really resonates with like the message Emma had been sharing. And so when I walk around my neighborhood, I'm always taking pictures, and the world is waking up, but the world also knows how to rest and to sleep. So here are two little purple flowers. Oh, I forget what they're called. I'm learning their names slowly, but you also don't always need to know their names. Okay. Oh, I put in the corner, woodland crocus. Hello? There we go. Here is a branch, I think, of a maple tree, and the buds are just coming out on a blue sky. It looks like it's reaching. Here was a little closer up, and the buds are in various stages of bloom. For work, last week we went to a reservoir that's in our county. So this is looking out over the water, and there's a bird flying over in a bright blue sky. This is I believe, a magnolia tree. And I have all these thoughts because this kind of magnolia tree is technically invasive, but I have all these thoughts that have come from like the world of disability justice, which is something I really want to insert into our world about that. I don't know the name of this. I see them all the time, but they're these puffy little plants. Puffy white ones. This is a tiny little bloom in my backyard from a silver maple tree, and it's bright red, and it looks like it has little fingers. Then we got some rain, and this is the reflection of trees in a puddle. Different ways to see the same thing. This is some more buds on a tree. There's a bird near the lower left, and the sun is shining through the branches. This is the lilac bush in my backyard, and the little blooms are coming out. This was yesterday on the silver maple tree, and look at them, they've like burst, and they're these little golden green shoots coming through the red. And this is the lilac bush yesterday or this morning. They're starting to open up and unfurl, just like all of us are. And then this is a close-up of moss in my backyard, which has only been possible because we stopped treating my yard. Circling back to the whole pets and allergies thing, I think one of the things that really affected Frida was treating our lawn. And I mean, there's a whole gamut of things that led to her being so much better now. But rediscovering like moss in my backyard has been such a delight. I think that's the last one. Yeah. Thanks for letting me. Oh, I'll say this last thing because Helen Costa had posted in one of the groups talking about like the different ways we communicate. And so being able to share my pictures is like, and dreams and all of the things, like finding different ways to communicate offers different advantages and different experiences. And but we have this hierarchy of like speech and talking being the top one, and that's just been embedded in us. So I love challenging that. Thanks.
Thank you. Those are beautiful pictures. And yeah, that's exactly what happened.
I watched her present nature waking up, the self-organizing intelligence that resides within living cells. Lizzy's sensitivity noticed these buds, delicate, barely poking their way out, experimenting alongside her dog, Frida, who is also the name of Chip's dog, to stop poisoning the moss in her yard and allow nature's intelligence to lead the way. She desires disability justice, having witnessed and experienced the injustice of perceiving reality outside the norm. We've seen this before. This is not the first time humanity has wiped out beings for not conforming to the rulers of the day. Beings who carry wisdom, prejudiced by age, too young or too old, or race or connection styles.
The previous part of this video was in my native language. Many people have assumed that when I talk about this being my language, that means that each part of the video must have a particular symbolic message within it, designed for the human mind to interpret. But my language is not about designing words or even visual symbols for people to interpret. It is about being in a constant conversation with every aspect of my environment.
I have a secret to share. A way to deal with justice like Gandhi, as demonstrated by his Quit India movement. Isn't that a lovely idea? Stop fighting the powers that be. Just quit, because what has entered consciousness is disruptive innovation.
Hi, I'm Kip Garland. I've worked over the last 30 years with a subject that some people really have a hard time getting their arms around: innovation. Innovation is a really cool word, but also, what does it really mean? If you change the color of your shirt that you wear every day, are you innovating? I thought I'd give a really practical example to you about innovation, some of the things I've studied over these years. And one is the idea of disruptive innovation. Now, even that word disruptive, it sounds so powerful, like you're going to disrupt, you're going to change, you're going to break, you're going to do something that's so revolutionary. And actually, what we found studying this idea of innovation that really changes things, it's a little bit counterintuitive. We think it's this big change forward, this leap forward, but actually it's looking in different places. It's thinking in different ways. It's acting in different ways. So one example that I like to use is one disruptive innovation that happened here in the US with a product that a lot of people use, a printer. Back many years ago, people would print things or copy things on something called a Xerox. Many people still know what that is today. And Xerox got really good at making copies and printing. And it started to define success in a very certain way, and success was being able to print faster and to make higher quality prints. And sometime in the 1980s, a very small, you might almost call it an underdog company back then called Canon. Today we know it as one of the best printer companies, and we don't really know Xerox as much because of the story. Canon started to think, well, where do people who don't print, what do they do? And what if I thought differently about them? Well, it turns out that people that didn't print back in those days were people that didn't have money. They didn't have money to buy one of those very expensive Xerox copiers. So Canon started to focus on people in their homes and people that didn't have enough money to buy copiers, and they started to make very simple desktop printers. At the same time, Xerox kept making bigger and faster printers for big companies. And eventually, Canon, because it focused on the simpleness and focused on listening to people that weren't listened to, or looking at different behaviors that are not the normal behaviors, it was able to define so much value for those people that it eventually disrupted Xerox. People don't even know who Xerox was. By 1989, Xerox was in bankruptcy, and Canon was the biggest growing printer company in the world.
Conserve your energy as Lizzy demonstrates, because Lizzy is a demonstrator, not the picket-holding megaphone type. God, isn't that draining? She demonstrates through her soft voice. She demonstrates through her pictures. She inspires rather than dictates. She shows rather than tells. She describes rather than prescribes. This is what I like to call the Lizzy method to communicating.